Welcome to a quick tutorial on the multi-referential constraint in Motion Builder. In this example, we'll do a character taking a phone call. I'll show you how to connect the phone to the character's hand, snap it into the arm, snap it into the palm perfectly, and animate the constraints weight so they can pick the phone up and put it right back down. Let's get started. So this holder is essentially a null element. So the way you create null elements is we can go to the asset browser and elements. Here we can just drag the null pointer, the null element into the schematic view, or we can drag it into the scene. I just renamed it to holder. So this essentially acts as a pocket in this scenario. And this is the smartphone. Again, I created a null element and I made the smartphone as the child of it and I renamed it to the socket. The reason behind this is because further down the production, if you want to change the asset, the 3D model, we can just make it a child of the socket. So we will be animating with the socket here, not the smartphone. So let's click on the constraints and go to insert constraint and click on multi-referential. So here we can see rigid body and parent objects. Here the socket will come under the rigid body. We can click on the socket and alt drag to drop it here in the rigid body section, in the object section. And initially the holder is gonna act as the parent because the character starts taking the phone from his pocket at around frame 18 to 20. So I have taken holder as one of the parent constraint, parent object, and now the other parent is going to be the right wrist effector. Again, same. Let's drag it to the object section. So now we have the socket as the child, and we have holder and the wrist effector as parents. We can see control key controls next to the constraint settings. Let's change it to holder, and we're at frame 00. We're at frame 0. So currently the weight is set to 100, and let's click on snap and let's keyframe this. Now, if we go a bit further, we can see that the smartphone is here only because in the earlier frames we just keyframed it and set the weight to 100. That's the reason. Let's click on the right wrist effector and let's try to match the position. So it looks like it's going to grab the phone. I'm not gonna go into much detail about the animation because this is only more about how the how the constraints are working. So from this point, let's try to attach the phone to the wrist. So again, here in the properties, uh, first in the key control section, let's change the reference to the right wrist effector. Mm, As you can see, now let's try to arrange the phone. Let's click on the socket. Let's go into rotation mode. Let's try to view it from the other angle. The character takes out the phone from the pocket, and once we reach the end of the animation, the phone was supposed to be go into the holder, maybe around 862. Let's click on the holder and just keyframe it.